wives will ask the question, like, do you still miss your husband when they're gone? And it almost seems like it should be a bad thing or a negative thing. Well, and usually that's when polygyny is talked about. Assalamu alaikum, peace. Is your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. So the question for this video is your marriage thriving on these three things? And I know there are going to be a number of things that people think that marriages should survive, thrive, be fulfilled on. And I'm just going to talk about three major ones. Of course, you guys have some other ones. Definitely add them in the comments. However, there are many other ones than these three, but these are very important because I actually believe that when it comes to these three things, they are not interchangeable. What I mean by not interchangeable, because maybe that's not the correct word I'm looking for, they're not where it's one person feels this way about it and this person feels another way about it. I'm totally getting a brain fart on what that word is. And I know you guys are probably yelling it at me like it means this. However, where it's relative, bam, see, it's gonna come to me. So these three things, I don't think they're really relative of what, of them being of importance, in a marriage, in a relationship, period, but definitely in a marriage. So let me get to these three things. First is communication. And I'm not putting them in any order because it just needs to be used, period, throughout, around the board. But communication, proper communication, knowing how to communicate so your spouse can receive the information that you're giving them, so you can receive this information that you are getting from your spouse. Sometimes when we communicate, we only communicate in ways that we know how to communicate. This is what I mean, that we know what we are trying to say. We know how we would take it if it was us. So we're like, okay, I don't understand why they don't understand what I'm saying because I get it. I know what I'm trying to say to them. But we must learn how to communicate so they receive the information. Just like we, not only should they do the same, but we can only talk about us. We can only control us. We can only be certain, for the most part, of the stuff that we can do for ourselves or with ourselves or on our, by ourselves or for ourselves. I probably said that already. However, when it comes down to that, knowing how to communicate so your spouse is receiving the information, is understanding you. Also communicating where you can receive the information from your spouse, meaning that listening attentively, not only listening attentively, but reading between the lines. I have an important announcement to make, an exciting announcement to make. It's been my goal for 2022 to be able to serve more people because my one-on-one coaching is full. So now I'm able to open up my group coaching so you can be a better you in 2022. I'm so excited about it. And the wait list has been growing day by day by day. So make sure you sign up for the wait list. You want to be a part of this? Sign up for the wait list. Check it out, CoachNyla.com. I'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. I know that can sound like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. But anything, and I said in the video, like, certain things, when I talked about being easy and hard and all that other stuff, or easy versus hard, and oversimplifying things. And I talk about anytime success comes before work is in a dictionary, which is true. you still should work at things. Work doesn't always have to be hard, but work is a continuous process. So sometimes that can look hard for some people, or stretching and growing and things like that can be hard, just because it takes time, it takes energy, it takes, away from certain things we may want to do, type of thing. And if what you're trying to accomplish, which is fulfillment and love and connection, is worth it, then that work is worth it. And it's up to us to look at it and choose to say if it's hard or not, So we have our choices and we have our ways to look at things. And of course, like I said, I choose to look at things simply. Now, mind you, I don't always look at stuff like that. I'll be like, oh, it's so hard, but I know it got to be done, so let me do it. But when it comes to that, communicating, learning how to communicate so they can receive the information that you are saying, as well as doing the same on their end. Meaning, like I said, listening attentively, reading between the lines, being more aware, looking at the things that they do, because communication is just not verbal. It's not only verbal. You have the physical communication. You have, of course, where people communicate verbally, they communicate with the physical, and they communicate with a whole lot of other things as well. But we just have to be, open to listening and being aware. So that part. And then the next one is intimacy. And as I stated before, it's not in any particular order, but they all have to exist, in the marriage in order for it to be fulfilling. Intimacy doesn't always have to boil down to sex. Sex is a part of it, of course, we know that, but it doesn't have to boil down to that. Think about if we are 80 plus years old or whatever the case may be, may Allah allow us to live that long, if Allah allows us to live that long and be married that long and all that other good stuff. Inshallah, God willing, you guys don't know. So, or will we be doing the same things that we are doing now, as a couple? Will we be doing the same? Probably not. But that doesn't mean that the intimacy ends in the bedroom or whatever the case may be, or that that's the only place that it is. It's, it could be the touch. It could be the smile. It could be the holding of the hands when, you're drinking your coffee together. It's the head on the chest and the head rubs and back rubs and just different things like that. That is important. Touch is important. Intimacy is important to bring closeness and fulfillment in your marriages. So what is that looking like for you in your marriage? Even if you're in polygyny, where it's another marriage, if your husband is married to someone else, or if you were married to another, woman, if you're a man married to another woman, what, does that look like in your individual marriage? What does that look like? Are you building on that? Are you creating this bond, are you building on this bond, creating this closeness, being intimate, being, in sync with one another when it comes to those moments, cherishing those moments, as well as, building on them and creating more moments and memories from them, So, when your spouse is not there, because I'm not going to say if your spouse is not there, because even if you're in monogamy, your spouse is not with you 24/7. So, that you're, you still feel that presence. You still enjoy the presence. You still, miss them when they're gone, when they're not there. And I know that was a thing before that, wives would ask the question, like, do you still miss your husband when they're gone? And it almost seems like it should be a bad thing or a negative thing. Well, and then usually that's when polygyny is talked about, because it's like, okay, well, he's gone. And so it's like, because I miss him, it's like, it's a bad thing, or because I just want. No, I think that's a beautiful thing to miss someone, because you it shows that you have this connection, that you have this love, you have this desire that should never go away because, they're married to someone else or because they gotten a job somewhere else or whatever the case may be. That's with any relationship anyway. But, I'm talking about marriage, in this video. But I think about, my bonus baby who is not in the same place that we are right now. And I don't get to really talk to her much. She got married and had a little baby and everything like that. And I'm like, I would miss, I miss when I was spending some time with her when she was around us and we were doing our things when we were all together. Like those moments, miss that, So it's that connection, it's that love. I miss my son. He's not physically with us where we are right now. I just talked to him earlier this morning and it's just like every time I'm like missing him. So it don't have anything to do with anything. It shouldn't be anything bad, I'll just say. It just shows that this person or these people are still in your heart even when they're not around you, So just creating that chemistry, creating that intimacy and keeping that intimacy strong. And the last one is grace, or the third one. It's a lot of others, but grace. Grace is very important, and it's not utilized as much as it should be. I don't say it's not utilized much; it's just not utilized as much as it should be because we get a lot of, couples, spouses that get into arguments or just disagreements and things like that can cause a lot of discord in their marriages. And a lot of it comes from not allowing the grace, not giving them that, not giving that where it's like, okay, I know this person loves me. I know they're not intentionally trying to hurt me. Maybe it's something going on, so it's kind of where people say, well, I'm not giving them any excuses. But however, that's kind of what grace is, but not an excuse to just be mean or be mad or be, hurtful or harmful or anything like that. Nothing like that. But it's like, you know what? I know that they're better than this. I know that it's possible that they could not be. So let me try to figure this out. Let's try to figure this out together. Let's work this out together. Instead of saying, you know what? They're this way. Or they have this attitude and I'm not going to talk to them because they're not talking to me. Or they caught an attitude with me. I might catch an attitude with them. I'm going to be mean to them because they were mean to me. That's what's causing a lot of friction and a lot of issues because of, the lack of grace that's given to the people that we love. And I've seen it time and time again that we probably would give so much more leeway to people we don't know, people we don't care about, like bosses and, people, I guess, who have maybe control over our money or certain things like that, than we do over the people who we gave our heart to or who gave their heart to us. We're human beings. So, we're not going to always be the happy-go-lucky, chipper person. And we may make many mistakes. However, knowing that and saying, you know what, let's get to the bottom of this. If we want to have a fulfilling, loving, lasting, outstanding marriage, let's talk about this. Well, you know what? I know that you may have not, and I start a lot of my conversations if I'm feeling a certain way like that. I'm like, I know you probably didn't mean it this way. Logically, I can understand that. Logically, I see it. But emotionally, I'm not feeling it. So can we talk about this? And can we, and that's where communication and grace come hand in hand as well. And I guess that's also intimacy too. You get that closeness and the connection and everything like that. So, being able to say, you know what, logically, I can understand this, but this is what I'm feeling, or what's going on, or, is there something that we need to work on, or whatever the case may be. So, grace. So, communication, intimacy, grace. Those are the three things. And how are you doing in those areas in your marriage? What is it looking like? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being outstanding, 1 being extremely poor, Let us know in the comments, what is it looking like in those three areas? You can put it like that. C, and just put CIG, and then like put the dash, and this is what it's looking like from 1 to 10, whatever, and stuff like that. But of course, we have programs. We also have counseling and coaching that helps in those areas. That helps build in those areas. For more information, make sure you check us out at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/store. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. Thank you for sticking with me. And I want you to put in the comments, outstanding marriage. That's what I want you to put in the comments. If you made it this far, put outstanding marriage. Because when it comes down to really building up these three areas, you will see, if you haven't already in yours, you will see how outstanding your marriage could be. So until next time, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. And inshallah, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you click that subscribe button and like it, thumbs up if you like the video, and share it. Doesn't take much. It's just clicking the button. All right, till next time. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and also Clubhouse under our names.
And make sure you go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and sign up for our email list. And there you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
Absolutely. And last but not least, when it comes to coaching or counseling, if you want to work with us one-on-one or in group settings, make sure you're on that website and reach out to us, because we do have very limited spots, and we usually have a wait list. So with that being said, GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.